Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Mendte, and I want you to meet Alisa Morkides, who is the owner of Brew-Haha. For people in the area who don't know what Brew-Haha is, what is it?
Brew-Haha is a boutique, a collection of cafes in Delaware.
And it is coffee,
It
right?
is coffee, absolutely.
It's
yes.
coffee, and
Yes.
that's the name, Brew-Haha.
Right, exactly.
And you're starting here. How fast are you growing?
Well, we're not growing in a meteoric fashion, but I have 10 cafes. I'm always looking to look at new sites and that kind of thing, but I'm also looking at expanding into coffee roasting as well, so that's really the direction we want to take.
A few weeks ago, we had the guy that's running business development in Wilmington here, and he was all excited. He was raving about Brew-Haha and saying that this is a business we should keep our eyes on. How did you start?
I started 21 years ago in Greenville, with a cafe in Greenville. And basically, I was a financial planner who hated financial planning. And I went to Italy in 1993. And I fell in love with the cafe lifestyle there. I mean, just quite simply, I ditched every idea that I wanted to do financial planning and decided to come back and write a business plan to start a chain of coffee houses. And that business plan wrote itself, I have to say.
And you have your own coffee?
Yes. Well, we currently use a roaster out of Portland for our coffee. So, but I'm looking, of course, to roast. But yes, we have our own privately labeled coffee. And but my vision was really to have the espresso in Italy, and the whole coffee culture was so amazing, and something I'd not seen here, that I wanted to bring that back to Wilmington, which is my hometown. So,
what kind of experience do people have when they come to Brew-Haha as compared to Starbucks?
well, I think Brew-Haha, first and foremost, is a community-based business, and it's a local business, of course. So I think the experience that Delawareans have when we go to Brew-Haha is, if I may speak for my customers, is that they feel connected to the Brew-Haha as part of, it's in their backyard. It's a local business. And the Brew-Haha, I call it a collection as opposed to a chain, because every cafe is set in a distinct community, and I've purposefully decorated the cafes so that they are individual. You know you're in a Brew-Haha because we have the same menu in all of the Brew-Hahas, but every cafe has its own personality. And even customers who go to different cafes, they go for different reasons a lot of times. So they'll go to the downtown cafe, the one on Delaware Avenue. It has more of a, I would say, for corporate lawyers and doctors and people who patronize that, it has a certain look, that is not reflected in, say, Brandmar Plaza, which has kind of a bohemian look, very reflective of Arden, the utopian community. Yeah. So I love Delaware, and I love the Brandywine Valley, and I want my cafes to invoke as much of the personality of the Brandywine Valley and Delaware as I can.
Are you going to expand beyond this area?
I don't think so. I really don't think I'll expand my cafe business beyond the Brandywine Valley. I mean, I will never say never, but I don't see it going national in a big way. What I envision, the reason I started Brew-Haha so many years ago was I envisioned it as, I really felt like sort of the larger chains were kind of sanitized and taking over this country. There wasn't as much of the local experience. And I wanted Brew-Haha to be that. I wanted it to be community-based. I wanted it to be a place where people would catch up with each other and recognize each other as friends. And that's what happened.
You think you necessarily lose that when you become bigger?
I think so. I do. I have yet to see a company go national that doesn't have to make some trade-offs in terms of, I mean, consistency is a wonderful thing for a chain. But doesn't have to make some trade-offs in terms of having a unique personality. I do.
Now, we talked a little bit about this this idea you have to make some of the coffee cafes almost like the microbreweries for beer, where
Yes.
you can watch it being roasted. Is that what happens?
You can watch it being roasted. My vision is to create a cafe and roastery where there's a cafe and a roastery all in one large space, perhaps separated by a glass wall so that you don't maybe hear the noise of the roaster when it's roasting. But to have that theater, I guess is the word, but also just to be connected
Alisa Morkides, the owner of Brew-Haha, which is, how many do you have now?
I have 10. 10
And they're
cafes.
all in the Brandywine area.
Yes, yes.
Visit one when you get a chance. We'll be right back.